Hey guys, Hot5 here with episode number 34 of our Wolfsburg career mode. We're kicking this one straight away in the Bundesliga. We're taking on Cologne. We beat them 4-0. Schläger, Zarracho with 2, David with 1. For them, it was Nathan Redmond with the goal. Moving straight into the game against Stuttgart. Again, this is going to be another very good victory for ourselves. And it was actually a hat-trick from Barco, so not too bad there. Our young centre-back, Lena, did pick up a slight knock, which isn't the best. But we go over some Youth Academy reports, is the word I'm trying to say there. But before we get into any of the gameplay action, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We will be continuing the FIFA content throughout the coming months until FIFA 21. So don't worry. If you need your daily FIFA fix, just come to my channel. But yeah, career mode on the channel, daily. Don't want to miss it. Because we're taking on SL Benfica. And if you remember in the previous episode, we simulated a game against them, and it was a 0-0 draw as we go into this game at home. So we needed a result in this one. And 5 minutes in, that is not the way you want to start. Our youngster, I gave him the chance, and Ronnie Kraft, he didn't spit it back in my face. It was an honest mistake, but he slides in on his opponent, doesn't get the ball, goes in from behind, he gets a straight red card. So we're down to 10 men 5 minutes into this game. Thankfully for us, it is a striker, so it isn't going to hinder us too much defensively. And we almost do concede a couple of minutes later. It's a great save by Pichler. Not the best of shots by Vinicius, though. Maybe could have done a bit better there, put a bit more power on it. But you can see there's not many highlights in this game, obviously due to the chance, due to us not having our full 10 men? Yeah, our full 10 men outfield. We've only got 9 men outfield and we were missing a striker. But on half-time, I did bring on Jonathan David and Osimhen, our 2 main strikers. So the highlights did start coming in a bit quicker. And then in the 87th minute, Rafa knocks down to Weigl. Weigl to Vinicius. It's a cross and Poulsen almost tucked that one in. But thankfully for ourselves, Vinicius was offside and it was called back. And then in the 90th minute, Zielinski to Jonathan David. Through to Osimhen, one-on-one. You thought we were going to score there. You thought we were going to score. Unfortunately not. This one will be going to extra time as it was 0-0 on aggregate over both the ties. And well, almost instantly from kickoff, we have a great chance here as Osimhen finds Zielinski. He finds Jonathan David. Jonathan David to Zarracho, turns his man brilliantly, finds space in the box, strikes it. And again, their Greek goalkeeper makes an incredible save, but Zielinski plays it short to the man who had that resulting shot. He whips it across. And if your strikers can't do it, just get your centre-back to do it from the corner. An incredible volley from Victor Lindelof, scoring his first goal for the club. Look at the technique on this. First time, bang, beats the keeper. Poulsen can't get anywhere near him to deny him the chance. We're 1-0 up in this one, and we're going to look to hold on to it. But just before half-time in extra time, the ball finds Gabriel. Gabriel finds Vinicius. He's been their most dangerous attacker. Poulsen wins it off of Zarracho. He then plays it to Weigl, back to Poulsen, and it's a great reaction save by Pichler, denying him the chance of getting them back on level terms. I'm not sure if goal difference counts in extra time, so I didn't even want to consider conceding, and it may be maybe not going to penalties as it was 1-1. But a couple of minutes into the second half, Jonathan David, a terrible strike. Thankfully for ourselves, it did deflect. And then Zielinski with a terrible strike. And that was the final highlight of the game. And we did go through 1-0 victors. Vinicius is going to be kicking himself after some of the chances that he missed in that game. And in the semi-final, we will be taking on Inter and Leicester will be taking on Frankfurt. No, but Leicester will be taking on Frankfurt. A very strong squad in Leicester. A team in Frankfurt that we know we have the better of. We've played them multiple times in this save and beat them multiple times. So if we can get them in the final, fingers crossed, we can lift the whole thing. But obviously we've got to get past Antonio Conte's Inter Milan squad first. And before we're even in the Europa League, we're back into Bundesliga action and we're taking on Hertha Berlin at the Olympiastadion. And I'm pretty sure Hertha Berlin were the first team we beat in this career mode last season. I think they're the first. This is the first match we won. I think we won it 3-1. And Julian Draxler scored a couple in this one. Wonder how he's doing at PSG. But 20 minutes into the game, Jonathan David, the Canadian sensation, goes in, cuts past his man, sneaks it in at the near post, and he just does a Daniel Sturridge kind of riding the wave celebration. And we're not done there. Just literally a couple of minutes later, Jonathan David finds Osimhen. Osimhen back to Jonathan David. It's just quick passing between our front three. Zaracho, arriving late at the back post, tucks past their goalkeeper. I'm not got a clue who their goalkeeper is. I don't know if it's their first team goalkeeper, their rotation goalkeeper, their reserve goalkeeper, but I'll tell you this, he is terrible. Because 28 minutes in, we're still in the 20-minute region as Zaracho finds Osimhen. Osimhen finds Jonathan David. Jonathan David's going to hold it up, eventually finds Zaracho. He's quicker than Sacco. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He sneaks it in at that same near post that Jonathan David did. And in the space of 10 minutes, we've gone from it being 0-0 to it being 3-0. Absolutely incredible pace in our attacking here. And it's just paying off with finishing from our front three. They've all incredible finishing. As Osimhen, just before half-time, he's going to look to make it 4. He cuts inside, he lays it across to Zaracho. He's using his pace incredibly. I don't know how none of the Hertha Berlin defenders didn't get to that ball first, because he laid it off with a couple of metres between Zaracho and the ball, and somehow Zaracho still got to it first, securing his hat-trick in 15 minutes. It was for him to score that one. No, he scored his second goal in the half an hour mark. We'll say 25 minutes. Not too bad though. Again, though, their keeper is absolutely terrible. Jonathan David gets his second goal of the game. He's going to look for a hat-trick himself in this one. Double hat-tricks could be on the board here for the first time ever on my YouTube channel, I do believe. Zaracho's already got his confirmed. Can Jonathan David get his third and final goal just to secure his one? As Osimhen charges through on goal, shoots it across. He's just too good. He is the top goal scorer in this league by some margin, and it looks like no one's stopping him. It looks like he will be winning the Golden Boot this season, which is a really, really good thing to see, that we've brought in a striker for big money. We paid big money for him, but he's absolutely repaid that in abundance. But one thing that has meant is that Jonathan David's going to score a hat-trick, but one thing it did mean is that Weghorst has got less game time this season, and I do think Weghorst might be leaving us next season, as well as Barco and a couple of the other boys who aren't really too happy being rotation players. So that's fine by me. That's going to be a lot of funds to buy a couple of rotation players and a couple of first-team players for next season, when we will, hopefully, it's all but confirmed that we're going to be in the Champions League as Osimhen misses. That's the first save that goalkeeper's made this game, and it was against the top goal scorer in the league. But in this game, Jonathan David got his hat-trick, so did Matthias Zaracho. Zaracho's going to get the match ball first. Obviously, he scored his hat-trick first. I'm sure Jonathan David will also get a match ball. There's multiple match balls, and not just one match ball. Because Jonathan David got a 10, Zaracho got a 10, Osimhen got a 9.5, 2 hat-tricks, 3 assists for Osimhen, 2 assists for David as well. Really, really good to see. As I did accidentally simulate this game off of recording, we did beat Mönchengladbach 2-1. As we go into the final game of this episode, it's going to be against Inter Milan at the San Siro. So, ourselves against Antonio Conte's 3 at the back system. Can we do it? Well, very early into this game, Zaracho cuts inside, but their backline, De Vrij, Godin and Skriniar, 3 incredible defenders, and they're all going to be so tough to get past. But when you've got people like that playing balls in behind to Zielinski, he can't quite get it off, but Schläger gets his shot off. Again, not the best. We're actually playing against Castells. Completely forgot to mention that. Obviously, we sold him and bought Handanovic, and then we eventually sold on Handanovic in January of this season and brought in Sergio Romero. So, a good bit of business on our part, I would say. And, yeah. Obviously, Pisha is, or I think Pisha is probably already higher rated than Castells, which is really good to see, as we are absolutely peppering them with so many chances, and we just can't find the back of the net just yet. But half an hour in, Martinez finds Zaracho. Man to lay it off to is Zielinski. He takes it in a stride, he strikes it, and that was going top bins. If Castells had not made that save, that was going right into the top bins. As we're into the second half, it's a lovely through ball, and it is a really, really calm and collected finish there by Zaracho. He has proven himself this season to be an incredible goal scorer, and I'm just wondering now if next season when Leroy Sané comes in, maybe he might not be the best suited as a winger, because what I'm thinking is going into a 4-2-3-1, playing Sané on the left, playing Zaracho on the right, Jonathan David at cam with Osimhen up top. As speaking of Jonathan David, it's an incredible block there by Diego Godin on that David shot, which looked destined to go into the back of the net, as our rotation left back takes out Lautaro Martinez, 25 yards out. The ball is cheeky there by Eriksson. He's laid it across to Nainggolan, his fellow countryman, and there's just space for Eriksson. After a run on from that free kick, there was just space because no one knew who they were marking. and he just bamboozled our defence. 82 minutes into this game, they've got their goal back. It's now 1-1 on aggregate. Thankfully for ourselves, we do have the away goal, but in the 90th minute, Schläger, he's got no stamina left. De Vries catches up with him easily. He dinks it across. Jonathan David on an incredible volley, saved by Casteels to deny his former team. But Josip Brekalo whips it across to the club captain, Guilavogui. He only comes in these big games, and he absolutely delivers in these big games. He's put us back in front. He's got us our second away goal of the night. It's 2-1 going into the second leg, and you can see how much time is remaining like that. The clock was gone like that. And that is going to be it for this episode. I will see you in the next one for the second leg of the semi-finals. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please like, subscribe, and peace.